Welcome back. We are doing part 3 of my lamb harvest. Today we're going to be dealing with the tallow. Specifically, I'm going to be working with the kidney fat, and I'm really excited to tell you all about why you should be saving and using kidney fat, both for eating topically and in other applications. So let's go. Tallow's popularity is definitely on the rise, but this is still a product that is often wasted. So if you have a local butcher or you're buying whole animal or partial animal shares from a local farmer or raising your own animals, this is something that you should definitely ask about getting or definitely save your own. This fat is packed full of wonderful vitamins and essential fatty acids. Notably, A, D, K, E, and B vitamins are present in this. So it's phenomenal both as a cooking oil and used in topical applications. You can even use tallow to make candles and soaps, so it's a phenomenally versatile thing to have on hand. It can also be shelf stable for a year or more. If you don't want to put it in your freezer, that's how I go about it, and that is also why I choose the dry render method rather than the wet render, which we'll get into a little bit more in a second. All you need to do is ask your butcher to save the kidney fat when they're processing the animal and set it aside for you. They can often even grind it for you if you ask, so it's definitely worth putting out there. And if you're processing your own animal, you're gonna wanna go watch my first video in this series because I show you where that kidney fat comes from during the harvest. I wanted to give you guys a quick note on dry versus wet rendering before we get into the process. There are a lot of really popular videos out there for the wet rendering method because this is used to purify tallow, get it more white and more odorless for cosmetic uses especially. When you use this method, you're introducing water, which introduces more possibility of bacterial and mold growth. So your tallow is not going to be as shelf stable if you go with a wet render method. I personally always go with a dry render method, and when I am using kidney fat, not trim fat, I do not notice a smell after it's rendered. It will smell funky while it is rendering, but afterwards, I personally do not notice any smell, and so I go with the dry render method, which is what I'll be sharing with you today. Step 1, if your butcher did not pre-grind all of your kidney fat for you, you're gonna need to either chop it up into fairly small pieces or go ahead and put it through your own meat grinder. And a little tip for this, go ahead and freeze your tallow first if you're able to, and let it just barely defrost. If it's partially frozen, it's going to be so much easier to try to dice it or put it through a meat grinder. Step number 2, you need to cook this low and slow. A crock pot works fantastic here, or you can put it into some kind of a non-reactive pot, like stainless steel, and put it on the stovetop. I've also seen people do this in huge baking dishes in their oven. If your oven can go really low, something like 250, you could try this in the oven as well. The point is you do not want to cook it, because if you cook this oil right now, you can get more of that meaty taste from the skin and the connective tissue and the things that are all over mixed in with that fat. I like to keep the lid just slightly ajar to help prevent condensation buildup while it's rendering. I've seen a lot of people go both ways on this, so probably not crucial, but it is something I like to do. I let that go in the slow cooker all night, and so it should be perfectly melted and ready for step 3. Once it is all melted golden goodness, you are ready for step 3, which is to strain this through some kind of really fine sieve, preferably some cheesecloth or an old tea towel. You really want to get all of the little impurities out. And you're gonna wanna strain this into a clean glass jar. If you want this to be on the shelf, something with a good tight fitting like mason jar lid works perfectly. Or if you're more comfortable, you can always pour this into molds and keep it in the freezer. These little bits that were floating on the top are called the cracklins, and some people like to eat these. They like to fry them up, make them extra crispy, and salt them a little bit. It's not something that I personally enjoy. I feed these to my chickens and my ducks, and they love them. So eat them, feed them to your critters, either way, but you want them strained out of your tallow. It's gonna go from a liquid like this into a nice solid white, and this is going to be shelf stable for at least a year in your pantry. That's it. I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments and maybe share it with a friend. If you're not already subscribed, consider doing that as well and follow along with the rest of this lamb harvest. If you've missed the previous videos, check out the description, and otherwise, learn how to turn your freshly made tallow into soap in our next video. Tallow. This is, okay, but this is still an often wasted, what is, that's it. Oh my gosh, that's hot.